What you doing?
I guess ready for another paranormal discussion.
You're supposed to be talking to me, not to the camera.
I know that.
So, I thought we might be doing talking paranormal tonight.
Yeah, it sounds good to me. I've been thinking a lot about how we used to go to some cemeteries and things and look around.
Do you think cemeteries are haunted?
Yes, I think there's energies there.
See, my question is, why would somebody want to haunt? Why would a dead person want to haunt where their body is, or haunt a cemetery?
I mean, I don't know that, but there is something about it that's kind of eerie but beautiful.
You know the creepiest cemetery that I've ever been to, or that we've been to? Old Crow.
Oh yeah, that one was. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Like the front half is still used, but the back half is like really overgrown.
Grown up and everything, yeah.
There's like, I think I counted like between 50 and 100 headstones back there in the back part that's like completely overgrown.
Yeah. It was pretty creepy back there, and there has to be, to me, a reason they don't go back there.
It said that it had been, taken care of or cleaned up. That they've got a headstone that has the story about the cemetery.
Yeah, it's very old.
And how it, like in 2017, don't quote me on the date because I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like 2017 or something like that they went in and cleaned it all up and everything, but it doesn't look like it's been touched since.
Yeah, I wouldn't even go back there just because not only am I afraid and believe in spooks and spirits, but also I don't like ticks and snakes and all the creepy crawly stuff, so...
It very well could have been back there.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I was like, I'll let you go out there that day to explore.
Wasn't there supposed to be like 3 or 4 witches that were buried back there?
It's supposed to have been 3. It was a story that I heard. I don't know a lot of the specifics, and it's been a long time ago, but...
And actually not too far from where that cemetery is, there was a Civil War scrimmage.
Yeah.
It's like the Confederates had crossed the Little Red River and came upon the Union.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I think it was like 35 or 40 Union soldiers were killed, and then there's like 10 or 15 Confederates killed.
Wow.
But that was all in that general location.
In that area, too.
If anybody's interested, it's the Battle of Whitney Lane.
The Battle of Whitney Lane.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I like about cemeteries. It's not just the lure of maybe seeing or hearing something out there, but it's the history and a lot of the older graves and the history of who's there.
I think that cemetery was actually initially a black cemetery. If I remember right.
Yeah, well, I think it is predominantly a black cemetery, yeah. Now, I don't know about the older part back there.
I think that it's the older part. I think, it's more mixture of whites and blacks and whatnot in the front part, but I think the back part is predominantly black.
I think you got it backwards, babe. And most of those graves up front are all black. In fact, the Friends of, they were started in West Helena, Arkansas, from where I'm from, but a lot of the black groups started that. And it's the Circle of Friends, I believe. And we found many, many of those headstones out there for the Circle of Friends. So, and I think, Googling the cemetery, it is a predominantly African-American cemetery, except for the back part. And that's extremely old back there. And for whatever reason, it's not maintained anymore.
I was trying to look that up. I'm not.
Yeah, it was the Circle of Friends. I believe was what it was. And they started that. It was a group they started in West Helena, Arkansas, I believe. But you can look it up, but yeah. And then I think the older part of the cemetery was like more like white, because that was when they first settled that area or whatever.
Okay.
And back in there, supposedly where those 3 witches were buried, but
That's crazy.
supposedly.
It does have a odd feeling to it.
Yeah.
Especially the front part has an odd feeling, just the front, but when you get back there and realize, hey, there's headstones back there, then you walk back there and you start seeing them here and here and here and here, and it's like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's kind of creepy back there. Yeah.
But anyway.
That's why I won't go, but I liked the pictures you took back there. But there's a lot of interesting ones around, and we've been to some that have the Woodmen of the World. I think those are really neat headstones, the way that they look.
All the tree trunks and stuff like that.
And I think they've quit making those like that now.
I don't know.
I think from what I can understand, they don't do that anymore, but they were very cool, and there's a lot of really old ones.
Yeah.
So
what else you want to talk about?
that was just what I was kind of thinking about, because we used to go to a bunch, and I think it'd be cool to bring out the stuff and do some rubbings on some of those headstones. Would be kind of neat.
Talking about Civil War battles, and we're kind of talking about, the difference between an intelligent hunt and the non-intelligent. I can't think of what it's called. It's like a loop, like a video.
You got me so lost. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's like you go to Gettysburg. We're talking about the Civil War battle over Cersei. You go to Gettysburg, and you'll see there's been people that claim that they've seen the soldiers marching.
Huh.
And it's like the image of the soldiers marching through there.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Then I was talking about how like our house has been added onto and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's houses, there might be a doorway here, but the doorway used to be over here, and you'll see a spirit walk through the wall over here,
right?
Because that's the way where the door used to be.
Yeah, their energy, I guess, has a certain path.
It's not a intelligent haunt because you can't communicate with it.
Yeah.
It's more like an imprint of somebody instead of somebody trying to communicate.
Yeah. Well, there is and I don't even know the name of it now because I was only like 19 years old when me and my friend Amanda Evans, we shared an apartment in Springfield, Arkansas, and just being too young, teen, almost 20, nothing else to do on a Friday night, we went out driving around to some places she knew was haunted. And one was this old house over in Bentonville, and it is creepy. And I do think I know where that one is, that I could actually maybe find that.
The word I was trying to think of was a residual haunt. Anyway.
But anyway, that house was really creepy. And then she said, well, there's this old military park out there. And the old legend goes, if you park in front of it, unseen hands push you but you got to put your car in neutral, and it was flat where we were, so before anybody says, oh well, your car just rolled because it was in neutral and you were going downhill, no, it was flat and we got pushed up a hill. And she started up the car really quick and we took off, but just so we didn't think we were crazy or just it was a fluke, She drove back around, parked in front of the gates like you're supposed to do, like everybody knew about around there. And you put your car in neutral, and we waited. And all of a sudden, here it goes again, and we got pushed again. After the second time, we were both pretty freaked out, and we left.
See, that I've heard of other situations like that where, like, there was a railroad crossing where supposedly where a school bus got hit.
Yeah.
The bus stalled out on the tracks or something and got hit by a train.
Yeah.
And several children died. Well, supposedly if you pull onto the tracks and do the same thing, put your car in neutral, the spirit of the children will push you off the tracks.
Yeah, and that's kind of similar to this. But what it was an old cemetery, military cemetery, and it was over in Bella Vista. And I wish I remembered what the name was, where it was located. But like I said, we were young, just looking for something to do that was haunting and kind of spooky on a Friday night. And it was real late, and that's usually when spirits come out too, is like that. And we just, what it was if you park in front of it, it's supposed to be the ghost of some of the soldiers, the Confederate soldiers that are buried there. And they say sometimes you can kind of hear it or hear them moving. And then sometimes you'll see like one of them that may have had a cigar or a cigarette in their mouth. You'll see like the smoke coming out like from... We didn't see that, but we were pushed. And twice. So it wasn't just one time little fluke. We did it for the second time, and we were pushed again.
I think everybody understands that you were pushed.
Well,
twice.
I'm just saying it was really freaky, and that did happen to me and my friend, and we both experienced it. And she freaked out after the second time, and we left. So because it was probably around midnight or after, and then we went home. Can you not do that, please?
I'm not doing anything.
You're tapping your glass. But anyway, so anyway, that's what happened with that incident.
Anyway.
So kind of similar, but a little different because it was a military thing, and they were like old Confederate soldiers. So.
Anyway.
Well, that's all I had to say about that. Well, you guys share some of your stuff because
I don't really have a whole lot.
That was my story, and it goes along with all the cemetery stuff and all that. So.
Okay.
And I enjoy going to them. I just think they're kind of fascinating. And
supposedly this Smyrna church over here,
yeah,
it's got that cemetery behind it, but supposedly off to the side is a slave cemetery.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Where all the trees are between the cemetery and the highway there.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be graves of the slaves out there.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
I learned that from the lady that does the Unexplained America. It used to be Unexplained Arkansas, that podcast.
Oh, okay.
That she was talking about that one day.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I thought that was kind of neat.
Yeah, it's
I
interesting.
want to go explore that cemetery.
Yeah, I haven't been out there, so, and I didn't know that, so it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. You know what? It used to be a school. It's supposed to be a church now. It's Morris School.
Morris School on Morris School Road.
It's just, I don't know why, but the place, whenever I drive by it, it's creepy.
Yeah, it is
I
creepy.
get really weird, strange feeling every time I drive by it. But there's supposed to be a cemetery. It used to be a Catholic school.
Yeah.
A boys' school, Catholic school.
Yeah.
And the priest it's like the priest that oversaw the school. There's a cemetery where the priest is buried out there.
That's really interesting.
But I don't know where it's located out there.
Oh, I'm sure it's way out there somewhere, and I don't want to get close enough to that school to even know. So, because I've heard though that the people there are kind of strange, and that they've run people and trespassers off of there, and they've come out with a gun before. So,
I don't know.
Yeah, if you ever Google it or look it up about that, see some of the comments about it.
I've seen them.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy. So,
but
I don't mess with
there are people that have gone out there and trespassed. But I know a guy that got invited to go out there and look around, and I told him I wanted to go check it out too when he goes.
Yeah, well, good luck. Have fun with that.
Anyway.
But yeah, that was kind of interesting. But I guess I kind of like, not only the haunting stuff about it, but like some of the history too with places like that. And then wherever there's history, there's usually some kind of energy or activity. And
yeah, you've got a file on your shoulder. Anyway.
Okay, well, I'll tell everybody that.
I saw it.
Well, it's that time of year now. It's getting warmer out. Anyway, yeah, and I kind of feel that way, and I wish that they hadn't tore it down, most of it now, but I felt that way. I was always drawn to Monte and the old motel out there. That was Coin
cool.
Harvey. He was eccentric, had lots of money, and I wish that the Depression hadn't happened, and that's how he sunk in a lot of his money into building those hotels out there. But he started losing money on it hand over fist. But it would have been amazing. I mean, this guy had gondolas imported from Italy. It was basically going to be like a hot springs kind of place, like how we've got hot springs and Eureka Springs. Well, he bought that place up there just outside of Rogers, and he called it Monte, which meant something about little fountain, I think. But it was going to be like a place for the people to come and like do wellness stuff. It had the first indoor cement swimming pool in Arkansas in that time, because it was during like the 1920s, and some of the old black and white photos, they have those funny looking bathing suits and stuff.
Yeah.
But he even had that, and a lot of his hotels had like the concrete parts, and then it had like the log cabin part.
Wasn't it that considered the largest log cabin structure in the world?
Yes, and they actually moved that. They didn't even try to restore it. It's sitting out beside the highway over there, out in the field, just rotting. And then over the years, the concrete part, of course, all of us used to go visit when we were in high school. It was like people thought it was a, spooky place, which it was, and, we're looking for ghosts, and people had all kinds of stories from going out there. Oh, I saw that on the 3rd floor. I saw glowing eyes. You know how it gets around high school and gets around all the people. So then others want to go out there and check it out.
So Coin Harvey living in Monte, Arkansas.
Yeah, Monte, Arkansas.
He was actually. Did you know that he was actually a presidential candidate?
Yes, he held it there at Monte at the amphitheater.
In 1932, Harvey formed the Liberty Party based on his financial theories, and headed the party's ticket as candidate for President of the United States in the election of 1932. Harvey was only on the ballot in 10 states and polled around 53,000 votes to finish 5th overall with a 0.13% of the national tally, or 0.80% of on-ballot votes.
Yeah.
I just thought it was cool that he was.
Oh, he was something different, all right. And He was from Chicago and all that. I believe.
Buffalo. I looked him up. He's from. He was born in Buffalo, Virginia.
Well, I just lived up there before he came to Arkansas. I think I read that somewhere that it was Illinois because he was. He had a lot of money. I'm thinking he was in banking and a lot of stuff too. But he had a whole town. It had its own newspaper, post office. He had the Missouri Row Hotel, and then he had the Oklahoma Row, which is what was part of that concrete building that they've now demolished.
Yeah.
Was part of Oklahoma Row. He was going to have all the states. He was going to build like the 4 that surrounded Arkansas, like the hotels.
Yeah.
And it was a really cool place, and it actually became a girls' camp too, or some kind of camp at some point in the 60s. And a lot of people used to be able to go out where that amphitheater was, and that was something that was cool. He was going to build this pyramid and put stuff from like the 20s in there so that people in the future would find it. People still go diving out there in that murky lake. They're trying to find any remnants or see if he had buried anything down in there, but I don't think they're ever going to find anything because he never got to finish any of it.
So I'm sorry for being mistaken. He was born in Buffalo, West Virginia, but he lived in Gallipolis, which is in looks like West Virginia. Then he moved to Cleveland, Ohio. Then he moved to Chicago.
Okay, I knew Chicago was in there. You used to be able to visit the Rogers Museum. Well, you still can, and they've got all that information about Monte and the old motel and all that. They've got plaster cast of the amphitheater in there.
But he lived in Colorado before he moved to Arkansas.
Well, that's cool. Well, he did a lot, and like I said, sorry, our phone rang, and are we still going?
Yeah,
okay,
we're still
okay.
going.
Well, sorry, I got a phone call, but
let me pause it. I think we're back to where we're at.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, we were talking about Monte. Sorry, I had a phone call that I needed to take to talk to my dad and my brother. So, but we're back now.
Anyway.
I really liked going out there though. There was a lot that was going on in that area. It was almost like he had this little town, you know. And I hate it, but it switched hands so many times and was sold to different people. Well, what do they call it that does the lakes here? The Corps of Engineers?
I guess.
I think it's the Corps of Engineers. They were wanting to put in Beaver Lake up there. Everybody got to vote on this that was around Monte. There was a lot that didn't want it because they did not want that area disturbed because there was so much history there with what Coin Harvey had done. But they were outvoted and the lake got put in. And you used to be able to go out there and explore. There was still parts of the concrete from Oklahoma Row, and it was really cool to go out there and explore, especially when the lake levels would go down. And you went down to those basement rooms with me that were like really cool and fun to explore. There was a lot of graffiti, but of course, like I said, people had been going out there for years to look at all that. But then, the lake levels when they went up, would just flood everything. And the amphitheater used to be cool. A lot of people like to go explore it. Well, if the lake levels get down and dry enough, a lot of that amphitheater and the steps come up out of the water, and you can actually get out onto some of them. You'll see pictures on Friends of Monte on Facebook. And you'll see people, like when the water levels are low, out there exploring it and fishing off of some of the steps and stuff. So, But I just hate it because I think it was such an important part of history. It's enough that it's in the Rogers Museum. That tells you how important it was in that area, the things that Coin Harvey did, that I wish they had gone around Monte and done it a different way where they didn't disturb that area.
Yeah.
So it could have been preserved for history, that people could have gone in and done something with it and preserved it, or even finished his dream.
But I don't know. It's just, I like going out there, but it's disturbing as well.
Yeah, it's spooky out there, and it was kind of because just it has a lot of history, and it was around for so long.
Yeah.
And then his grave, his crypt, tomb is out there too. It's got a crack in it, but
Isn't it him and his son buried out there?
yeah, it's like Coin Harvey and his son are both buried in it. But there's a lot of information, and anybody that's interested in that area or Monte can Google that. And also, if you visit Rogers, Arkansas, you can get information on Monte and the old motel and Coin Harvey at the Rogers Museum. So, just thought I would share that.
Awesome.
But that was like another neat kind of place.
I don't know that I really had much else that I wanted to talk about.
You're not feeling too good.
I'm having an issue with my jaw, and it's been a rough day.
Yeah. I'm just wanting us to still get back into this.
I know,
and
we are.
And get our discussions out there. But so all you guys don't forget about us.
Too late, they have.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm just fascinated by all that stuff, and even like the alien stuff too.
Yeah.
And I'm just fascinated by it, and anything I can think of like that. Just history and spookiness is always a good combination.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I think I'm starting to have a cramp in my leg.
Okay, well, we'll just, I guess, call it quits for now, and
Be happy.
I am. We'll talk to you guys hopefully next week, or maybe this weekend if he's feeling better. Maybe we can get some more episodes rolled out and more discussions.
Yeah. We'll look into doing another one here soon.
I really hope y'all liked this tonight, and I'm sorry for the interruption.
Well, y'all have a good night.